Alright, I'm gonna work on this bike again today. Got the one lifter still making noise. So I went up and grabbed another brand new lifter. I'm gonna take it apart and check it out. And then I'm gonna take apart these S&S ones over here and see if I can see why they don't work. See if I can figure out why the lifter does not like the bike. Something is definitely not happy. Okay, so we're gonna do it just like before. We gotta take the snap ring out of the top, pull the guts out, and see what we got in here. Plenty don't want to come out. What a shocker. Let's see, I already got the magnet out. Do our magnet deal again. It does not want to come out. Appears to be stuck down in there. Problem blowing air in it to half the holes open the atmosphere. Let's see, how can we blow air in there? Oh, let's see, if I blow air all the way to the ball down there, probably enough pressure to blow it back up. Maybe. We'll see. Alright. Air line over here. High pressure. See if that works. Nope. Don't think this one will fit in there. Nope. Try the small tip. There we go. Ooh, that's different. I blew the whole thing apart. I think I had that rag there. Could have lost a bunch of parts. So there's the ball bearing. There's a spring in there. Turn sideways. Bear plunger assembly. Alright. So there's a seat right there, and if it doesn't seal on that seat, right there, the lifter will never pump up. I'm assuming that just pushes in there because it came out. Looks like it's a spring because of the way it's cut, so it probably compresses into there. Alright, so that gives me a way of taking apart the other ones now. I know how they're made. Looks like it had a bunch of real light machine oil in there. I don't know if they even call it oil. It's very light oil. More like Marble Mystery Oil, real thin. Alright. Let's see, get that spring out of there where it doesn't belong. Some tools here. Spring. Theoretically, if you put a little more tension on that, it might seal a little better. Or not. a little extra. Not much extra. Okay, this here just has a dimple in there to center the spring up, it looks like. Goes in there pretty tight, so means these are pressed, put it back together. Oh, it knows vice. And it does have tension on there. Okay, it's in there now. Ball works. Okay. Looks pretty good. Here's my assembly lube. I'm going to try a thicker lube this time than what I used before. See if this helps a little bit. Nice thick oil in there. Drain in there. My pre-oiler device here. Push the ball bearing down right there. Get the oil to seep down in the inside lifter body there. If it'll go. Doesn't appear to want to drain in there very easily, but because it's thick oil, it is going now. You can see the red getting down in there a little bit. Okay, I think it's all full of oil down the bottom of the cup now. This is probably fairly clean, but we'll clean it again. Just to make sure it's clean. A little assembly oil on there. We're using thick oils this time, none of that thin stuff. So it looks like it's just a big cup in here. The only hole is way up here, so if you fill it up full of oil in there and pre-lube the piss out of it that way, it'll be lubed. It'll definitely be pre-lubed. Let's see here. See if we get some oil to come out of this thing. I don't know if I want to use this thick oil for this. I don't want to use this real thick stuff. Got our transmission oil here to use again. Cup full. A little bit of oil on the bottom of that. I should pre-lube it quite a bit. Not sure how much room I need for the piston to go down in there, so I would guess we're probably close to what we need. Push that in. Oh, forgot something. Actually, I forgot a couple things. I forgot the spring. I forgot to demagnetize this. So I'll be right back. Demagnetize it. Not a lot of room to get down there. Okay, there's our spring. Plunger in there. Another plunger. It's got tension on it now. That's going to make it really hard to put together if it's full of hydraulic oil in there. I got my pressure relief valve over there if I need it. Looks like it's going to go down. Definitely got air pressure though. Okay, what did I do with that clip? The clip took off when I was blowing on it. There it is. Different style clip than the other lifters. So, definitely stiff. Yeah. When it goes down about 30 thou, it locks up. So this lifter is pre-lubed. It's fully lubed. So it has best opportunity working. Got no excuse not to work. It's got oil in already. Alright, so we'll put that one in there and see what happens. Now the other one over here, these S&S ones, let's see what's inside of these. Now this has the same kind of clip that lifter there just had. So even though that was a crane lifter, it looks like it was made by S&S, later production. The ones that are in the bike over there must be genuine S&S lifters. Or not S&S, excuse me, a crane, which was made about 8 years ago. Crane's been non-existent for a while now. Probably 10 years old, about 12 I guess, as they went under. S&S took over after that. Okay, let's take this thing apart and see what's in here. Okay, there's that one. Let's go over here and see what we got. It's a dirty rag. Actually, this is a dirty rag over here. What are you looking at? First piece. Looks like the same manufacturer. same design anyway. Looks identical. Yep. Same light spring in there and everything. Okay, let's see if we can blow this one apart like we did last time. Just make sure you wrap it up in a rag over here. Oop, that's what we're doing. So the parts come flying out. You don't lose them. Make sure you cover up the backside also, or it shoots right out the backside. Did not come out. Nope. Not coming apart that easy. Looks like this is a three-way cutaway, the other one's a four-way. So it's a little harder. Oh. Pushing out pretty hard, it's not coming. I don't think they want you to take these apart. I see no reason why it wouldn't work though, it's the same as the other one. So, definitely something going on. You can put a little punch in there and knock it out, but a steel punch will nick the ball and it'll leak. So you don't want to do it that way. As it was, I was pushing over the steel tip nozzle, which is not good either. The other option is to get a pair of pliers and try to pull this out, maybe. But you don't want to be holding on this on anything much, so I'll use a lifter to hold the body. I can yank on it probably that way. Get my fancy new pliers out. There we got our fancy new Kryptonix pliers here. Let's see how these work. See if we can rip and tear and destroy this. Okay, so we use the top body as a leverage tool to hold it. And take the pliers to pull it out. Put it right there in the middle. So I'm just going to squeeze and rotate, or bend it, try to force it out. There you go, come right out. Quick and simple. Plungers back out. Okay, now that spring there, see, has almost no tension on it. Very, very low tension. Looks like the ball might be a little bigger maybe too, I'm not sure. This might be a little shorter, I'm not sure. So if I stretch the spring a little bit, some more tension on this thing. Pretty tough little spring. Okay, now the spring's about that tall, so that's almost double the height. Where's the limiter at on this thing? The limiter must be in the body here somewhere. Not seeing the limiter. There it is. Had to be in there somewhere. So that just keeps the piston from going down any further than that much. So instead of having that much free play in there, you put that in there, you only got probably this much free play. There's only 2 turns, so. And you can see how we were beating the tar out of that limiter. We were hammering on that thing. Big time. So I don't know if they got a bad ball seat in here, why it doesn't work, or what. Maybe just some grit. I don't feel any grit, but who knows. Don't see anything wrong with it. Maybe you can see something wrong with it. You got better eyes than me. You got a big TV screen. Okay, so we're going to put the spring back in here, like that. Ball in there. There's the tappet body. Press these back together again like I did before. Get higher though. There's the ball. Okay. It's back in there. Definitely got more tension on it now than it had. Yeah, it's way more tension. 2 to 3 times more, I think. So the oil's going to have to compress the ball to get in there, so it might take a lot of oil pressure to make this lifter work. You modify stuff, you don't know exactly what you're doing. That is a lot more tension on that thing. So that might take a lot more tension. A lot more oil pressure. Looks like towels.
Rags.
I modified this one. So that goes over everything like that, and it goes in the body. So I put way more tension on that sucker to make it work.
Nice.
I don't know. You can't check the ball unless you take it apart. Damn it. I stretched the spring like double.
Good.
I don't know. It might be good, might
Does
not
that
be
put
good.
more tension on it?
Yeah, but that's not necessarily going to make it work better, though. Do it the other way. Yeah, it might not work as well.
Might not work as well.
Well, it's going to take more oil pressure to bypass the spring to get the oil in there.
Oh.
So that'd be a problem. Now, one thing I did see on this deal is that the oil hole here is right at the top of the plunger. So how's the oil pressure going to get down in here to fill it up?
There's this and this one. Yeah, it's above it, huh? That's how it goes in?
Yeah, but it goes down so far. How's the oil going to get underneath it to do it?
Yeah.
That's what I don't see. There's only one hole in there.
There's a little screwdriver. We can use this one, I guess.
Little screwdriver's right here. What are you trying to do? That doesn't go through.
I'll
That's
push
solid.
down?
Well, it pushed down, but it's solid.
Oh. That's right.
I think the oil works backwards.
Comes out that hole?
This here goes
The
against
pushrod.
this. This goes against this. Maybe the oil goes down through the center, past the spring, fills to the backside and lifts it up.
Unless the overflow got out the hole.
But how's the oil get in there if you got no way for oil to get through here? Oh, there it is. There's a groove. Right there's a groove to get cut through a channel. I was thinking, why don't we put a groove in this thing so it'll actually get some oil flow in there? And go, oh, there it is. That's how they did it.
Does that have to be pointing towards the hole though, or no?
Doesn't matter, it goes around the full circle. Okay, so that's how that worked. The oil goes into the gallery right here, that big groove. Pisses through that little small little groove there to get oil back here. So there might not be enough volume of oil getting past to push
Fill
it
it up.
up.
What would be stopping the volume?
That right there, that
Groove.
depth of that groove right there. That's how much volume you get. The rest of the oil is going to go upwards. But now how's the oil get to top in? There a bypass? No.
Where's the Evo book at? Shows the oil system in it.
So it's a restricted top end flow. So as that goes up, there's an oil hole right here that blows up into that. That's your oil feed hole, your push rods. And this one's got 6 little oil galleries drilled in here to spray oil for some reason. I don't know what that's supposed to be about.
You talk about it in the
Or
instructions.
maybe those are just dimples, I'm not sure. I can blow it out to see. So as that lifter goes up and down, that's what puts oil to your top end. But if you only have a limited amount of oil flow, how the hell is it lubricating? The piston can't move, you put the limiter in it. This limiter. So what the hell keeps it from lubricating?
What keeps it from, yeah, is that keeping it from lubricating?
Okay, where's this thing sit at? This thing sits right about there. So that hole's about center. So the oil is just above this groove, which is right where the top groove is at. As you collapse that down, so you have to collapse this down far enough to uncover that groove there.
Collapse it down every time to get oil?
When you adjust the push rod, you bring it down. So when you bring it down, you open up the oil gallery. It feeds the top end. So if you don't give it very much of a downward movement, you have very restricted flow.
Yeah.
So if you don't give it the full 3 turns or 4 turns down, you only give it like 1 turn, you have no oil flow to your top end.
Not good.
Because there's no groove. There's no bypass groove feeding the top end.
Those threads in there in that below the thing? Below the ring, or no, they're just flat?
No,
huh?
that's just a flat with a groove in there. So this thing has to go down to uncover, to get into the oil gallery. If they had a groove cut in here, you would have a you'd have a way of doing
The
it.
pressure
but-
comes into there from the lifter block, goes on into the hole in the lifter block into here.
Yeah, this is the only feed holes, this one. And that's on the top groove. Now how do you get oil from the top groove, from the bottom groove to the top groove is the next problem. See, this would have to go up and down, but you don't want this going up and down when it's working. It's supposed to be in one spot and staying there.
Inside of there, right? The pressure, oil pressure keeps it in place.
As the motor warms up, it goes back up the top. And that, as it warms up, it shuts the flow off. That doesn't make sense.
Well, but the flow, you said it flows all the time through there, through that groove, right? Or is it blocking it off?
Well, you got two grooves in here. It's a matter where this thing sits, determines what is open and not open. This here groove right here is, looks like about dead center in the other groove. So brand new right there is where it sits. When you adjust it down, it goes down about halfway down, probably about 1/8 of an inch, 100th thou at least. Puts you about there. So that is right, just barely touching that groove. Now as the top end warms up, the lifter goes back up, shuts the oil flow off.
These things were supposed to help the oil from not shutting off.
So to get more oil flow, you got to compress the lifter further down. You run it more toward bottom out than more toward up, as far as I can tell, without actually having real measurements to go by. Because there is no bypass grooves. It is what it is. You only got the one hole. There's no other hole in there. That's weird. So check ball is working. You know, it's all working, not plug. I doubled the spring tension, maybe tripled. So if you put a groove in here to get more more oil flow, that would fill up the backside of the lifter more. See, the valve spring tension be really high. It keeps the lifter fully collapsed all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So it might not ever get enough height and enough time or height to let the oil flow get in there because it doesn't get there quick enough. It doesn't have enough time to get in there.
Right.
So if you increase the volume by putting a groove in there, or a deeper groove in that, put another groove in that damn thing, it doubles the oil flow.
Lower the pressure down though? No?
No, it doesn't lower the oil pressure, but the pressure is controlled by the ball on how much pressure it's going to take before it hydraulics up. So if you don't have any oil pressure at all, like at idle, it might pump on down and start knocking it because it stretches the spring way out. But as you rev it up and the oil pressure comes up, then it'll pump back up again.
Hmm.
But without oil flow to get in there, it's going to be limited. And without top end oil flow, by not having this thing working with the squat, you got very limited oil flow to your top end.
Yeah.
Me, I think you should put a groove right down here. You know, notch that down a little bit. Pick up some oil flow maybe, but I don't know. I don't know how much oil flow we're getting or not getting. These are all things you have to test. But right now,
That oil, that's how it fills up that little hole?
that's what feeds the top end. What feeds it is this groove right here.
Yeah. But then what's that hole on the side do?
That feeds the top end. This feeds the hydraulic unit, and that feeds the top end. So I stretch the spring. If I put a little groove right in here with a grinder, we can see if that'll increase the oil supply to the lifter, make it work. Stretch the ball, so that might make it work. I don't know. These are all unknowns. So, but this lifter is already unknown because I modified it. So I think it's time to modify it again. What do you think? Flip that other light switch on so I can see. I'm going to go modify this part right here. There's so much room to work back here.
Yeah.
Somebody put this piece of crap tranny here. This broken welder. My clutch getting too fast to get back here.
Tatro machine. Yep. Tatro's grinding up the stuff right now. Lorenzo?
Yeah, I'll be right there. Anyway, it's a lot deeper now, so, and wider.